recording on the website later next week if anyone wants to go back and review it or share it with somebody who might benefit from some of the information that will be shared today. If you could please mute yourself until it's time for Q&A. Can you all see the agenda? Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, so after each presenter, we'll have time for questions and answers. And then at the end, if time allows, we'll go to our 1 minute roundup, and that provides an opportunity for all of you to share about your organization, what kind of services and programs you offer, and do some networking in real time. If you want to go ahead and put your name, organization, and email in the chat during the meeting, feel free to do that as well. And I think, did I say stay muted until it's time for questions and answers? If I didn't, please do that just to eliminate background noise. Our presenters today include Sabrina with Macmillan Health, Jacob with Oxford House, and then we'll close it out with Brittany from Safe Haven Recovery Engagement Center. So I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to Sabrina.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to share a few of our resources with you all today. I'm going to talk about our Healthy Tomorrow app and also our adult oral health recovery flip chart and resources. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start off with Healthy Tomorrow. Can everybody see the Healthy Tomorrow screen there? Perfect. Okay, so this is a completely free app for anybody, anywhere. It's not just here in Fort Wayne. We also have downloads in Italy, Chicago, New York City, Afghanistan. It's really exciting. And so here are just a couple of funders that helped us make this project possible. Going into our history of why we did this. So we actually had a local pediatrician, Dr. Tony Giaquinta, and he said, what resources do you have for women who struggle with opioid use disorder and their babies with neonatal abstinence syndrome? And we did not have anything at all. So we got right to work and partnered with the St. Joseph Community Health Foundation to be able to start an In Her Words assessment where we talked with women that actually did struggle with opioid use disorder and their babies with neonatal abstinence syndrome. We spoke with them about what products that they were already receiving, what maybe they did not like, what information that they weren't understanding. And they said that they were getting a lot of materials that were really hard to understand. They really did not want another pamphlet. And they felt kind of nervous and stigmatized when they would go to certain offices. And so they said it would be really great to have something that was just in their hand or on their phone that was very easy to understand. So from that, we had created a professional advisory group full of individuals that would typically work with new moms and those who would struggle with recovery as well. And then also put the same mothers into a mom's advisory group so that we knew that we were creating resources that were what they were looking for, but also that was easily understood and digestible for them. And everything that we do at Macmillan Health typically is a 4th to 6th grade reading level because we think that everyone deserves to understand and has the right to know health education. And from there, we developed video scripts that we turned into videos to add to this app called Healthy Tomorrow. We were able to work with Infiniteach, which was an app developing company in Chicago, to also make this possible. And we worked with that advisory group in every single process of reviewing the scripts, turning them into videos, and then putting together a professional guide. And so now it's available completely free on Apple and Android devices. We have videos on birth spacing, breastfeeding, opioid use disorder and neonatal abstinence syndrome, prenatal health, safe sleep, tobacco cessation, maternal mental health, and prenatal nutrition. And as I had noted that the app really began specifically for those mothers looking to start their recovery journey, it just really became very popular, and we had other organizations reaching out asking if we were going to add more resources. And that's why now we have 106 videos of the topics that you see here on the screen. Something great about the app is that it's also available in English, Spanish, Burmese, Arabic, Dari Farsi, and there are pre and post tests to every single category so that we're able to gauge whether the individuals are actually learning from the information that are on the app. And the individuals can earn rewards from watching the videos on the app, and they can redeem badges at organizations. Most of them are here in Fort Wayne: Shepherd's Hand, Associated Churches, A Baby's Closet, a Hope Center, Young Mothers of America, Women's Care Center of Northeast Indiana. And then we also have Life and Family Services in Kendallville and DeKalb Pregnancy Center. So we're also on a mission to continue to make other partnerships so that the resources can be available for others that are outside of Fort Wayne, as we have so many more downloads that are really further into Northeast Indiana as well. And something that is a part of the app is that we're able to have a professional portal where users can add in a supporter to monitor their progress of the app. So if they're working with someone from DCFS, they can have that person monitor their progress as they're watching those smoking cessation programs or those sleep videos. So they're actually showing that they're trying to learn more, and it can open up discussion of those topics of what they learned and what maybe they don't understand. And that's why we also have a completely free professional guide on our website that has every single topic, which has motivational interviewing questions, more topic information per category. And it's aimed at the professional to help them better support their clients. It's really giving tips for medical and non-medical professionals. And we also included related videos, those interviewing tips and prompts that I had mentioned, and as well as handouts or action plans for them to continue on after they've met about the professional guide. So it's right there at mcmillanhealth.org/healthy-tomorrow. And to date, we have 867 users, as I said, outside of Fort Wayne as well. 748 females, 70 males, 16 non-binary, and 33 unselected, as we didn't have that feature beforehand. And we're really looking to continue to expand Healthy Tomorrow. We want to grow our partnerships, gain more users, and really look at the infant mortality rate that we see and see a decrease in that from what they're learning from Healthy Tomorrow. And future topics will include meth use during pregnancy, developmental milestones, and other needs that are brought out by the community. We do have program committees where we want to hear from other professionals in the community of what they're seeing and how we at Macmillan Health could really add to what we're already doing to address those needs. So another thing that we love to talk about with you guys is our oral health recovery for adults with chronic health conditions, flip chart, and resources. And so the oral health recovery resources are meant for you to talk with your clients about their oral health and look at the different resources available to you and your clients to open up more discussion. So the oral health recovery curriculum is designed to be a conversation between someone starting an oral health recovery journey and a professional who might have been through similar experiences. The flip chart, handouts, and videos are included in this curriculum, and they are very educational. They're meant to be inspiring for the client who is also going through recovery. Your role when using these materials is for education and to also build trust with your client to help them set those recovery goals and milestones, and to have hope for the future and to continue those goal setting after you would stop meeting with them. So the pieces of the curriculum include a flip chart to help you have those conversations about various oral health topics, and the handouts so that clients have something to take with them, as well as 8 videos that reinforce the topics of the flip chart. This is the flip chart for the professional. So this is the flip chart for the professional side, where they would be showing the client very limited information with that QR code so that they could scan, while the professional sees the other side where they have the interview topics, a little bit more information, and also giving them access to other resources that they can show afterwards and continue to learn more about this topic that they're learning about. And So the digital handouts, they help clients understand the importance of oral hygiene, healthy food choices, visiting the dentist 2 times per year, and other healthy oral habits. So when you see the topics of the flip chart, not every single topic in the flip chart is meant for every client. It may not be accessible to them. There's a topic on dentures. There's one specifically for those that have diabetes, those that are struggling specifically with mental health. And so it's a way to actually utilize that that's in the best for your client. And so that is both the resources that I wanted to talk with you all today. What questions do you have?
Anyone have any questions or comments for Sabrina? Feel free to raise your virtual hand or unmute yourself. I'll just say I really like the oral health recovery because I think that's so important in recovery for folks and something that we don't always think about, but it's
Absolutely.
really important, and we know that that can affect other areas of health. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
So, Sabrina, I heard you speak a lot on how professionals can work with participants with this. So, is there a way to have an account where I already have an account, and then I have participants basically come in and use my equipment to do some of the exercises or whatever, or what does that look like?
Yes, so we have these resources available on our website where you can actually purchase the physical flip chart and materials, or we have it all digitally as well, so that you could have it just on your computer wherever you go. So it's just the way that you would like to utilize it. And for those handouts and things, you can just make copies as you would need them for those specific clients.
All right. Well, thank you, Sabrina, for joining us, taking time out of your day. I believe Rebecca put in the chat a list of all the presenters with their emails, so you can follow up with anyone if you would like to do so after this meeting. And with that, we'll go ahead and turn it over to Jacob with Oxford House.
Hello. Give me just a second to get shared. All right, does that show up? You guys can probably see everything else around it, but all right. So, hi, I'm Jacob McKinney. I'm an outreach worker for Oxford House here in the state of Indiana. I'm a person in recovery. I came through an Oxford House. I'm still an Oxford House member. It's been just about 4.5 years. I've been living in an Oxford House, so I've lived in houses in Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Terre Haute, and now in Lafayette. Um, our housing system is a little bit different than most other types of recovery housing because it is peer ran. And so uh, I'm going to try to explain that as best as I can because it's a little bit of a complicated model. But basically, our homes are run by the members themselves. So um, when the house sits down to write a check to pay their rent to their landlord, they're democratically voting on whether or not to write that check. If somebody in the house is leaving messes or not washing their dishes, they're going to hold that person accountable themselves. So we have like a weekly house meeting that all of the members of the house are going to come together and they're going to address all the house business at this meeting. Um, if somebody's leaving messes or there's disruptive behavior or something they need to address, they're going to do it then. There's always an opportunity for there to be emergency house meetings throughout the week. Things happen, but we try to really save that like for an emergency situation, like where maybe a member has relapsed or something like that. But yeah, so I work with all of the houses across the state. I'm not there yet. Anyway, sorry. Um, so Oxford House Incorporated provides a charter to individual Oxford houses to operate. So here in Indiana, we have 107 houses. Um, each house is going to be different. So like I live at Oxford House Cozy Court in Lafayette. That is like Girl Scout troop, whatever number, to Girl Scouts of America for Oxford House Incorporated and Oxford House Cozy Court. Oxford House Incorporated is going to provide those charters on the basis that they run the house democratically, they're financially self-supporting, and that they immediately expel any member who returns to substance use or has a recurrence. The way that looks, I mean, like being expelled immediately doesn't mean we're kicking somebody out into the street. It does mean that like you're not going to be able to continue to live here. So where can we get you? What's the safest place we can get you to? I tried to train our houses. I mean, not everybody's ready to go immediately to a treatment center. That's just the reality of it, right? When somebody relapses, sometimes they're not ready to stop using yet. So, what's the safest place we can get you to? Do you know about Never Use Alone? Here are some, some naloxone to take with you. You know, how can we get you at least with another person that knows that you're using so that you're as safe as possible? But that's kind of what that looks like. Um, we have a neat service structure. So I'll share a little bit about my own experience through this because I think it's really what makes Oxford House unique. So when I moved into my first house, it was Oxford House Manning at 10th and Arlington in Indianapolis. And I moved in and became the housing services rep right away. Actually, the housing services rep was moving out because somebody was drinking his milk, and he said, "I put your number on the website. This is you now." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I learned how to do it, but like at the house level, there's six different positions, like the president, secretary, housing services rep, whatever. My role through that was to set up interviews for the house, and to make myself available for incoming members for to set up interviews. Um, from there, from the house level, then individual houses form chapters. So any number of houses within the area will form a chapter. The chapter is also going to have positions of service. So it's going to have a chairperson, a vice chair. I was the housing services chair for chapter one back in the day when chapter one was all, or Indianapolis was all one chapter. And then at the state level, you go up and like all the chapters in the state form a state association. So our members, even though things go wrong in our houses sometimes, right? But even though something might go wrong, there's all these different levels of support that they can reach out to. Beyond all that, there's alumni. There's members that have lived within our houses successfully and now have their own housing. Um, so I just think that's kind of cool that there's a lot of different ways to get involved with Oxford House. It was really good for my recovery, anyways. Here in Indiana, we do have 107 houses. 70 of those are for men, eight of those are for men and children. So, where a father can have their children live with them full time in recovery housing. And then 16 for women and 13 for women and children. Our houses serve 14 counties, with our largest area being Indianapolis. It's Indy and Greenwood together. So, there's 29 houses there, and four separate chapters. Um, a little bit about like our statistics. We do an annual survey every year nationwide. So, well, worldwide. We have over 4,000 houses worldwide now. So we ask all of our members to take a survey in the month of March. And this gives us a little snapshot of who we're serving at that time, right? And so the 2024 numbers got released a little bit ago as we were doing the 2025 survey. And it found that here in Indiana, our average age for members was 39. So 19 was the youngest member and 64 was the eldest. As far as gender, most 68.9% of respondents were identified as male, and about 30% as female. A little half a percent for non-binary and fourth or 0.4 for trans members. Um, I think it's interesting when you look at the primary substance of use. I guess I thought that like opioid use as the primary substance would have been a little bit higher, but we found that about 28% for alcohol, 35% for methamphetamines, and 23% for opioids. 72.9% of our members were previously incarcerated, and 45.4% were under state supervision at that time. Um, oh, there we go. So also really cool, and I have to move all of you because it's blocking. All right, so our average length of sobriety at that point in time was 442 days. So when you took everybody's length of sobriety that responded to the survey, averaged it out, the average was 442 days. Um, and the average length of stay in an Oxford house was 224 days. So feel like that's just about 8 or 9 months, probably. I don't know math all that well. Um, Next, maybe not. There we go. Okay. So, and then Oxford House also has a ton of research that has been done on it. I'm going to move us back over here. In case you can't tell, I'm not a professional speaker. But yeah, so DePaul University found that our members have a 65 to 87% recovery rate. This was done in two different studies that they conducted. The first study, I think it was 900 people that they tracked across the country, and they followed those members over the course of 2 years and found that 87% of them were still in recovery at the end of that 2 years. And then the second study was where they gave people the option to either go into recovery housing or incarceration. And out of that number, the amount of people that went into recovery housing were randomly assigned to either Oxford House or other types of recovery housing. And it found that 65% of those people that entered into Oxford House stayed in recovery. And I think it was 31% for the other types of recovery housing. And our website, oxfordhouse.org, we used to have a state website, we don't anymore. But if you just go to the national website, you can see right underneath at the homepage, it says find a home. To find a house in your area and apply online. You can also find more about our history um, at all of that at oxfordhouse.org. And then this is my team here in Indiana. So I'm the only staff member now working directly in Indiana, but I get a lot of help from Lisa Reed, who, if you guys are in Southern Indiana, you probably know her. She and I actually started on the same day. But now she works primarily with Louisville. And then Stephanie is a member of ours from Bloomington that got hired, and she works based out of Northern Kentucky, but still helps out a lot in Indiana. So that is our info. If anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Jacob. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Jacob? All right, I have a question. So for folks who really feel that the Oxford House model would be the best for them, but they can't afford it straight away, are there ever scholarships or financial support available until that person can get employment and then pay for their own cost of living there?
So we definitely will help connect those people with those resources within the community. I know I spent a lot of time living up in Fort Wayne. The Drug and Alcohol Consortium in Fort Wayne has intervention scholarships that are available for people to go to any type of recovery housing up there. And then also, we get a lot of churches and other organizations that are willing to help people. Our model is a self-pay model. So the expectation is that our members are going to come in, they're going to find a job, and they're going to get to work. It does not mean that members necessarily have to have money right away to move in. In fact, that's something I really strongly try to train our houses away from expecting people to show up with money. Because I just ask them, I'm like, think about how much money you had in your pocket at the end of your run. I had none. My mom had some though, so she got hit up. But it's like I try to remind people like not usually when we're coming to this point, like we have almost nothing, right? So, but yeah, if that's ever an issue, feel free to reach out to me or have the person reach out to me. You can share my contact info with anyone, and I'm more than happy to if I know the resource in the community or find it. I know one thing I'll say, I know like Recovery Cafe has like MFA funds that are available. It won't work for Oxford House type of housing, but yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. Then sounds like if anyone knows anyone who may be interested in Oxford House to connect with Jacob to see how they can find some support to help that person get into a house. So we'll go to Jeremy and then Devin. And if anyone else has a question, feel free to, okay, Jeremy, Devin, then Daniel, because you moved around on me. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
So you stated, Jacob, that the average stay is around 9 months. Is that kind of just an average of what people are staying, or is that based off of what your program offers? Like, is there services within your program that kind of runs it out to about 9 months and then you cycle out,
Yeah,
or
so I
what's
would say the 9 months was definitely a guesstimate, and I'm no mathematician. Um, but it was like 442 days, and that was self-reported by our members during that moment in time that we took that survey, and we had 95% of our members in the state of Indiana respond to it. There's no time limit or time commitment to live in an Oxford house. So you can interview and move in, decide it's not for you,
okay?
and leave 3 days later, and we will return any money that we haven't earned to you. We don't keep anybody's money. Um, we do have the move-in fee that's non-refundable, $150. And so that would not be returned. But like any unused portion of rent that is paid to us, we return to the member. The and then there's no time limit. So like somebody like me, I'm disabled. I could be on disability. I'm blessed through living with Oxford House that I am able to work full time now. But with my severe mental health issues, like I don't think I would be successful living in my own housing. And Oxford House says that I can stay for the rest of my life if I want to. As long as I don't return to use, I'm not disruptive and I pay my equal share. And like that was kind of one of the founding principles of Oxford House by our members, because Oxford House just started because a county halfway house 50 years ago in Maryland lost its funding and the members took over the rent from the landlord and they figured out a method for themselves. So
So I take it with that there's no programs or that are connected with that, or
yeah, no, so we don't provide any types of programs. We definitely connect our members with all the resources that are in our communities. That is part of why you don't see a lot of Oxford houses and communities that don't have a lot of resources because we don't have therapists, we don't have cooks, we don't have house managers, none of that. Like, and so sometimes the house that I live at, they tend to think that maybe I'm going to take them job hunting, and I'm not, but I am going to be like, all right, well, if you need, a career coach or this something like this, I know organizations that can help you. And so all we focus on is the housing aspect of it, and then we connect with whatever they need in the community. It's out there. So,
So, my question would be, are there any factors that disqualify the individual from being able to stay at Oxford House? Whether it's like a mental health diagnosis or whether that's some type of charge they had in their criminal history, in their past.
yeah. So, as far as mental health, and actually, there's research being done right now that shows that people with severe mental health issues are successful within Oxford House. I think I'm proof of that. But yeah, we don't discriminate in housing, whether it be for gender, gender identity. I'm a non-binary person, and I'm able to live in the house that I feel comfortable in. Trans people are able to live in the house that they feel comfortable in. We don't discriminate against people's charges either. We've accepted members at house that I've lived at that were convicted of murder, and they were very successful within Oxford House. And very grateful to have an opportunity. Um, our houses that accept children are probably not suitable for people that have to register. People's registry requirements tend to be what prevents them from coming to an Oxford house because we do rent houses in nice neighborhoods. They're usually around parks, they're usually around schools. There's not a lot of our addresses that I know would be suitable for somebody that has 1,000 foot requirements. So like a couple through working with the reentry program here in the state, I know that like one house in Indianapolis is able to accept people that have that 1,000 foot requirement. However, the members that have lived there for a long time have their kids there every weekend, three days a week. So it's one of those things. It can be really difficult, but I'm always happy to help look up addresses, help figure out as best as I can to help somebody.
Thank you.
So I got a question for you, Jacob. So an individual coming off the streets with no clean time, are they able to jump into an Oxford house, or are you just wanting people that are coming out of detox or like treatment centers? Maybe you can talk
Yeah.
about that.
So our houses are able to make the decisions that work for them. So to get accepted into an Oxford house, you're going to interview with the current household members, and those members are going to accept you into their home or not.
Gotcha.
And that's a important piece. I look at like my personal story. I was living in recovery housing and I relapsed. It wasn't Oxford House, it was a different organization. And I used for 4 days and it was terrible. And at the end of that fourth day, I called my community corrections officer and told her where I was and said I needed help. And I went to jail, you know? But you can't tell me that if I was willing to do that, that I couldn't have moved into an Oxford house and been successful, right? Um, I think it all just depends. Every person's situation is different, and that's why we don't have blanket rules like that in Oxford House. We leave it up to our members. And actually, our manual says that those closest to a situation are best equipped to handle it. So, yeah, we don't have, I will say most houses are going to feel comfortable with somebody coming from a treatment center, at least, or coming from other types of recovery housing or something along those lines. But um, when I lived in Terre Haute, we accepted a guy who was at Bloomington Meadows, but didn't have insurance to go to treatment. Really, really, really wanted to go to treatment, but didn't have insurance for it. And so we accepted him at our house, you know, and he had 3 days clean when he moved in, and he lived there for 7 months and was great. Um, I think it all just depends on a person and where they're at, you know, and what brought them to that point.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you, Jacob. Lots of good information. Thanks for also sharing parts of your personal recovery story. I think that's really great. So, okay. And then our last but not least presenter is Brittany with Safe Haven. So if you're ready, Brittany, go ahead.
Thank you. There it goes. Let me find my screen. Okay, so my name is Brittany Stout. I am one of the co-founders and current operating CFO for Safe Haven Recovery Engagement Center. We are a certified recovery community organization and one of the 10 regional recovery hubs for the state of Indiana. We were founded in 2018 after my brother passed away of a heroin and fentanyl overdose and realized that we didn't have any resources. So we created them. Our mission is to offer our own experience, strength, and hope to those struggling with substance use disorder as well as their families. So as one of the regional recovery hubs, we have a 13 county service area. So we serve, if you look on our map, it's like Lawrence County and all the way south, kind of in a straight line, and then the entire southwest corner. So we go all the way down to Posey County. So Orange, Lawrence, DuBois, Crawford, Perry, Martin, Pike, Davies, Gibson, Warwick, Posey, Vanderburgh, and Spencer. Through the Regional Recovery Hub, we also partner with Rise Recovery out of Davies, and they help support our community coaches as well through the Hub program. We have 2 physical locations. Our main location is in Paoli in Orange County, and then we opened up a satellite office down in Evansville because of the geographical distance of all the counties that we serve. We are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. And then our transport team is open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. My contact information is on there. We have our website. We're on Facebook and TikTok. And that is our primary office number that will connect you to any of our team members. So we offer a multitude of services, all of which are free to anybody that needs to access them. We do not charge for anything that we do. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We run exclusively off of grants, community donations, and fundraisers. So our primary programming, peer recovery coaching, that's the free one-on-one mentorship, help remove barriers, sustain recovery, build recovery capital. Our coaches serve all 13 of our counties. We do have our own transportation program, so that's obviously a barrier for many people, especially in the rural areas. So we've been able to secure funding for our own transportation, and that is up and running in DuBois, Orange, and Crawford counties. That is available in any other county if they can find us funding. So we originally started that in Orange and Crawford through a DMHA grant. We've been able to continue it through other grants, and then DuBois requested transportation. We gave them the budget, they found the funds, and so we expanded to DuBois in the fall of last year. And then we hired a separate driver to service our IOP clients. So people that are in intensive outpatient, if they can't get to us, we do have a separate driver that will bring them to IOP and then take them back home. And then we do have the partnership with Lyft for all of the other counties where Lyft is accessible, that we can set up those free rides if they qualify. We have harm reduction services. So we have a harm reduction mobile unit in Orange and Crawford, but then we offer naloxone, fentanyl test strips, xylazine test strips to any of our counties. We monitor about 15 nalox boxes and keep those stocked and report them to Overdose Lifeline. We have a couple street outreach teams, one in Perry County and one in Orange County. They usually go out one time a week and offer a hot meal, resources, harm reduction supplies, hygiene supplies for the unhoused. Community events and education. We do that in all the counties where we can and funding allows. We do have a food pantry in Orange County that is open to any community member in Orange County. We don't ask questions about whether they're in recovery or not. That's just a community resource. But we also have a food program for our participants that are in the coaching program. So if we have a participant in the coach program in any of our counties, they can access extra food support, and we'll give them a weekly food box. We have a participant sponsorship program, which is available to any participant in the coach program in any of our counties. If they have a specific need that is, relatively easy to fund through a specific donation or sponsorship, and it involves one of the 4 dimensions of recovery, then we add it to our sponsorship page on our website, and somebody can donate that specific amount to purchase that specific item. So it's a good way for people to help out if they don't want to donate to the organization as a whole, because they like to know where their money's going. So we had one guy ask for a word search book because boredom was a big trigger for him. He's like, man, if I just had a couple word search books, and somebody needed reading glasses, somebody needed a coat last winter. They're very modest requests. People are not asking for these really big things. Somebody needed an oil change for their vehicle. So we don't have funding to offer those things, but it's a good way for other people in the community to donate and help them get the things they need for their recovery. We do have intensive outpatient treatment services based at our Orange County location. It is provided by Now Counseling, so we don't do those services. We just offer our building for free for them to use. That's been up and running for almost a year now. It's evening classes, 5 to 8 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we do have transport. So we get a lot of people from Martin County that come over to our IOP, and we will transport them. We do have a jail hygiene program in the Orange County Jail. We provide all of the hygiene items to all the inmates once a month, including feminine hygiene products. And then our physical locations, Paoli and Evansville. We have a Salvation Army rep at our Orange County office. We have a family peer coach that serves all counties. So that's a pilot program through DMHA, and they gave us funding for a family coach. So she is certified as a family peer. She is a family member with lived experience and able to help the other side of this, right? We know it's a family disease. So helping those family members and youth that are impacted by substance use indirectly. And then we host group meetings. So we'll host group meetings in the jails if we're allowed to get in there at our physical locations, or we'll help start up meetings in public locations in the counties we serve. We do have some events, and I got to plug these in case anybody's in our neck of the woods. Celebrate Orange County Recovery 2025 is going to be on May 31st at JC Park in Paoli. We've got 2-8 Ministries band, DJ Rashad coming. We'll have food trucks and vendors. I think we're having a foam party. We got funding from a roadblock to do a foam party for the kids. So we're hoping it's going to be a little cooler than last year by hosting it in May. So it's a really good time. It's a few hours to come out and dance and eat and see that recovery is indeed fun. And then we are hosting 2 Voices of Recovery. These are identical, just different locations. So Voices, we have hosted since 2019 in Orange County. It's always been a really good event. Testimonials, Narcan updates, food. It's one of our biggest fundraisers that help keep our doors open. So on September 4th, we are actually hosting in Pike County. So we're going over to Petersburg, Indiana, and doing our first Voices over there. All proceeds that we raise from that Voices will be put into a bucket specifically for Pike County. So those funds will not come back to Orange County or to our organization or a physical location. We're going to use those specifically for Pike County. And then our Voices in September, towards the end of the month, is going to be in Orleans at the Robinson Auction Barn. And we do butterfly releases at both of those as a way to remember those we've lost. And then we do, usually a dessert auction, a silent auction, and music, of course. We've got 2-8 coming to both of these as well. So these are really fun. We've done these so many years now, but I enjoy them every year. And then this is just a slideshow of all the pictures because we're really cool people. The guy in the middle is Dakota. So he was my brother that passed away. He was 25. So he was a really cool guy. And so I'm really glad that we have a lot of fun in recovery because he would have enjoyed every minute of it. Right below him is a picture of a potential mural project that we're working on helping fund. This is a huge factory building right along 150, 56 coming out of Paoli. And it's quite an eyesore, but it has amazing potential. So we have a local artist that's willing to come in and do this if we can find the funding to support him. And the Monon train is a very big part of history in the rural southern Indiana area. And our connection with this is he's going to put in like memorial names into the mural throughout it if somebody has a name that they want to put on it. But I'm hoping we get this off the ground this year. He is currently painting silos in Orleans, and it will also be the Monon train. So the goal is for it to come from Orleans to Paoli to French Lick over the next couple years. And our teams, we've got lots of pictures of our teams. We did some renovation on the Orange County Jail last year with some grant funds. The artwork is handmade by a high school student here locally, displaying, recovery and what it looks like over the years, and parades, and people help with our donations and stuff. And our transport team's in the upper left corner as well. So we just have a really good time. Our programming and our needs can change obviously as the needs change, and if a county has a more specific need or something that we don't offer, we will create it, we will find it, we will make it, as long as we can get the funding for it and find a way to make it happen. That's how the transport's grown. That's how we develop street outreach, is because those counties requested the need to be filled, and so we worked on that for them. We have really amazing partners throughout all of our counties, stakeholders, and other organizations that we utilize, refer to, bounce back and forth ideas on. That's what's made Safe Haven successful and possible, has been all the collaboration throughout the state. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Brittany. Anybody have any questions or comments for Brittany?
You guys have done a great job. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you so much.
I have a quick question for your coaches. Do you guys, I know it said all counties, but do you guys have people come to the Paoli place, or are your coaches remote? Like, will they meet people out and about, or how does that work?
Yeah, so our coaches travel, and we have any option, right? They can come to us, we can come to them, we can do virtual. some of the jails we have to do like the video visits because they won't let
Yeah.
us physically go into the jails. So we do that as well, and we have a bucket of funds. And that's part of why we opened the Evansville location, right? Because we knew that we couldn't expect our coaches that might live like Orange, Lawrence County to travel to meet their participants all the way down in Posey. So we've got our Evansville location so that physically they can get to people, but our coaches will travel to any of our counties and meet them there. We don't expect them to come to Paoli.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm at the Region 1 hub, and we're expanding to the counties
Mhm.
around us right now with our coaches and trying to kind of make sense of it all and get people where they need to be. And man, it is a
Yes.
undertaking for sure. So congrats
Yeah,
on
it's
getting
very
it going.
complicated, especially with the larger areas and how rural some of the counties are. That
Yeah, you
having
guys
the
have a lot of
satellite
counties.
office has helped us out a lot for the Evansville area, because it just wasn't feasible for our coaches to travel that far. So that was kind of a necessity. And then, well, when COVID happened in 2020, that really opened the way for us to figure out Zoom platform and Teams
Yeah,
platforms and make sure that we can still connect to people. Even if it's just a phone call, check in until we can get to them. It's better than nothing.
I love that sponsorship idea too, and I'm probably gonna steal that, just so
Yes,
you know.
please do. Please steal it. Anything
I think
is
that's amazing.
open.
That's a
It's
great
really
idea.
cool. And we've actually
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I started it and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And I mean, we get like 2 to 4 sponsorships a month. So it's not
Yeah.
a huge quantity, but we also don't have a lot of sponsorships listed. But I
Right.
leave the old ones on there and I just close out the pay tab so that you can't pay for it again. And I just put that they're sponsored so that people see that like we have had sponsorships. And the
Yeah.
requests are so humble.
Well,
People
yeah,
are
I
not,
actually was
I've
just
not ever
looking
had
at your
anybody
stuff.
ask for a $400 electric bill to be paid. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's very humble requests.
And I think the specificity of it is huge. I think somebody who might not be prone to give funds is like, oh, this person needs dishes. Like, I could
Yes.
do that. Like, I love
Yes.
that idea. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it really helps with the donations and it helps and it makes the participants feel really special. Like when
Yeah,
we get
for
to
sure.
tell the coach gets to tell them, hey, you got sponsored by somebody chose you.
That's
It
cool.
really gives them a little bit of a boost of morale that somebody cared enough to choose something for them. So it's been really cool. Definitely steal it.
Thank you. That was great.
Thanks.
Jeremy, go ahead.
I just wanted to comment on the barn thing. Up here in my town, at Marion, Indiana, they did a
Mhm.
mural on several buildings, downtown and at the Grant County Rescue Mission. And just the way that it prettied up the community, and that was just a real cool thing. I think it's really cool to be involved in that. I really liked how you talked about names being put on there as
Mhm.
memorials, and kind of immortalizes them in a place and time. So I just think that that's awesome. I just want to give you some accolades for that. I also want to speak to what I hear rumor of the spirit of collaboration that Safe Haven carries. Teaming up with Rise and working together and working in unity. I just want to give you some snaps for that, for thinking a person centered treatment, So I'm going to give you some accolades there. And I want to let all the presenters know that I'll be emailing you to reach out to help build a resource base with you myself for Indiana Forensic Services and the IRAX team as well. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Brittany, for taking time out of your day to present. And Larry, who is part of the IFS team, will be at your event at the end of the month on behalf of the recovery pillar here at MHAI. So you'll
Awesome.
connect in person. The Safe Haven events are always fun. I've been to quite a few pre-COVID and post. So it's a good time, good cause. So, okay, with that, we do have time for 1 minute roundups. So, if you all would like to take this as an opportunity to share about your organization, you can do that now. So, please, as the name implies, keep it to 1 minute. Your name of your org, services you provide, and then drop in the chat your email so people can follow up with you after this meeting to learn more. Sound good? So you can raise your physical hand or your virtual hand, and then I'll just call on folks as I see you kind of appear with your hand. Any takers? Okay, Eric, go ahead.
Well, I haven't been on in a minute, guys. This is Eric with 2A. We do music and events, and every time I get on these calls, I just want to say thank you again for everything that you guys do, and just getting to hear, even in the midst of everything that's changed around the state and the country, you guys just keep plowing, and it's so inspiring. And thank you. My family thanks you. I'm getting ready to do music for my niece's my niece's wedding tomorrow, and I thought I'd be doing music for her funeral about 7 years ago. And she not only survived and recovered from a methamphetamine and heroin addiction, she is an awesome mom. She's getting married like in 2 days, and she got to get trained on becoming a peer recovery coach. And sorry, I'm going over my minute just bragging on you guys, but thank you for what you do to help Hoosier families. We do music and events. We're getting ready to kick off summer recovery tour again this summer. We didn't know if it would be happening because of all the funding freezes and everything. But I did want to let you guys know we are going to 5 new cities for the summer recovery tour to make sure we keep celebrating recovery across the state and connecting families with you all, amazing people, and the work that you do and the resources that are in their area. And Brittany, excited to be with you guys here soon for your events. And also, thanks for helping us kick off a new summer recovery event down in your neck of the woods too. So I'll put my email in the chat. If you guys have the ability, wouldn't mind helping us just promote and get the word out, it would be so helpful because we had to kind of start promotion really late in the game because of the way everything is working on the funding level and all of that. But we're just excited to still be able to do those and to help make sure families are finding you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Good to see you. All right, anybody else want to do a shameless plug? Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, so just really quick, I'm Rebecca with the Indiana Recovery Network, or also the Mental Health America of Indiana Recovery and Advocacy Pillar. So we host a bunch of trainings, and basically they're once a week. We have an upcoming training that would be great for all of you to attend, and that is the Recovery Advocacy Micro, Meso, and Macro Strategies for Change. So I'm going to pop that in the chat, the registration link and the flyer. We also just shared that on our Facebook page. So, we'd love to see you guys on the 28th for that upcoming training.
Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, so let's go. Jeremy, Danielle, Barbara, and I think that's all the hands I see now. Jeremy, you're muted.
Sorry, I lowered my hand, but I didn't unmute. So my name is Jeremy Spencer. I'm the Transitional Healthcare Manager for Indiana Forensic Services. We house the IRAC program, which stands for Integrated Reentry and Correctional Support. We provide one-on-one peer support services inside county jails, as well as group engagements. We started in 2022 with 5 pilot sites, and we're now up to getting ready to launch number 11. So we're moving right along. One of the parts of my role is to provide resources to my resource navigators on the different sites, county teams. So that's why I'll be reaching out to you guys looking for any and all resources that are available in the state of Indiana so that I can share that with them and they can better serve the populace that we serve. That's pretty much it. Thank you. Oh, and I'll look forward to seeing you, Eric, at Olivia's wedding Saturday. I got an invite and looking forward to it. Olivia was also part of the Delaware County IRACS program, and as she would say, we shared a desk because I seem to put myself on her desk all the time. So
Thank you, Jeremy. Danielle, go ahead.
I'm Danielle with Unlikely Journeys. I'm the executive director and the founder. We work with youth 12 to 19 years old and parents who have youth under 18 years old in a peer coaching type of way, mentoring. We provide Lego serious play workshops. We just did an art class this last weekend. We provide one-on-one support and in the near future, we'll be trained in nurturing parenting, and the R rules, which is just for teens, changing the scarcity mindset to being able to find resources, and stuff like that. So that's all. Oh, and we serve Central Indiana.
Thank you, Danielle. Good to see you. Okay, Barbara and then Jennifer.
Let's see. Oh, my mic is open. Sorry. This is Barbara with Applegate Recovery. I'm in the Indianapolis area on the northeast side of town in the Castleton area. We provide buprenorphine, primarily even working on, we do injectables. And it's individualized services here is we've been here for a while. It's just that kind of doing a reboot with this part of town. And if anybody's interested in services, please feel free to email me. I just put my email in the chat. So I'm grateful to be a part of this group and been able to make it whenever I can. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Barbara. Jennifer, go ahead.
And my name is Jennifer. I work with Life Recovery Center, both downtown at the MHAI location downtown and then also on Shadeland Avenue. We provide anger management, Friend for Life, abuse intervention programs all online, as well as IoT, OP, and aftercare services, both online and in person, and peer coaching, as well as mental health assessment and therapy as well.
Thank you, Jennifer. And if you didn't already, folks, go ahead and make sure your email name is in the chat so folks know where to find you after this meeting. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Just wanted to let you all know we will not have a meeting in June because it falls on the 19th, which is a holiday observed by MHAI. So the next meeting will be July 17th. 12 to 1, same Zoom link. And if you would like to present at a future meeting, please contact Rebecca Gorel. She is really great and coordinates all of our monthly meetings for us. So just shoot Rebecca an email or you can contact us through our website. Good to see everybody. Hope to see you at all the awesome events coming up. Hope everyone has a great kickoff to summer and all that good stuff. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.